Interops, and today we're going to talk about a topic that I don't usually talk about. This is kind of an unusual topic for the channel. We're going to talk about cartoons. I was really thinking about this lately, and I realized that Gen Z is going to be the last generation to grow up with cartoons. I remember when I was a kid, you wake up, you grab the remote, you turn on the TV, you start scrolling through the channels, and there's none of this Netflix, Disney Plus stuff. You turn it on, and you're like looking for your favorite shows, like an analysis paralysis due to being overwhelmed by all the options you have on the screen. Back in the day, dude, fucking like channel 123, dude, like channel 96, dude, and you got the few channels. Like, bro, back in the day, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney XD, like, what do we even got, man? And some of the other network, Adult Swim for the boys out there, dude. Every day at 7, bro, Adult Swim would come on, and every single time I remember watching, it was King of the Hill, dude, and that theme song would come on, and this is really nostalgic. And now to think about that, we won't have this anymore. There's none of this won't exist anymore. The next generation of kids are now growing up with iPads, with Netflix, with Disney Plus, with Hulu, with YouTube. Sure, we had YouTube even back in our day, but it wasn't so mainstream. It wasn't so big, you know? It wasn't like your parents weren't like, yeah, like turn on YouTube. They barely even know what that was, man. It was so small back in the day, and now it's huge, and all the other streaming services. And that's a part of the thousands charm that's kind of fading away now in the 2020s, just because you can have so many more like shows and movies on a streaming service than, you know, a channel. Because on a channel, you can only have one thing running at a time, and you have to watch whatever was on. And I think that was good, man, because it kind of like fixed a little bit of indecisiveness a bit. It was like the few channels you like to watch, and you kind of scroll between them, and you're like, do I want to watch this? Do I want to watch that? Or do I watch the other thing? And you maybe had like 5 choices, depending on, like, I forget, there weren't that many channels, you know, that had like good cartoons at the time. It was a few, you know, you had your classics, like I already said already, and you just were like, which do I like the best? And you just picked it, man. You just sat there, you watched it, man. As a kid, you know, mom's giving me the cereal, we're turning on the TV, I'm seeing Star Wars The Clone Wars on the TV, I'm watching that shit, having a good time. You just eating my cereal before I'm getting ready to go to school. Man, I remember when I was a kid, I hated going to school, man. I would always ask my parents if I had school today, because I just never wanted to go. And that was just my charm as a kid, man. As a kid, I was a bit of a delinquent, you could say, in some ways. Nothing crazy, of course, you know, faking being sick, doing some stupid stuff. That's kind of what you do even when you're a kid, man. You're learning the ropes of life and becoming better. And that's just how it goes. And I love it. And then you naturally evolve to become the best version of yourself, and just evolve to become better over time as you mature in your adult age. But it just, this topic got me so nostalgic, because I really see people talking about this, and I don't think anyone I've known in my personal life or even on the internet, maybe I just haven't seen it, has really touched up on this topic, because this is something emotional for me, man. Because when I'm a parent and my kids, you know, maybe they want to watch something, maybe I wouldn't expose them to so much screen time, because, you know, I think obviously blue light is bad for you. That stuff is going to fire your dopamine receptors. And, you know, personally, me, as my parenting style, I wouldn't want my kids anywhere near an iPad, you know, just fry their dopamine receptors and cook them for their whole life. It's all good. Don't want that at all. No, 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 no. And if you're going to be watching something, got to be locked in with the blue screen glasses. I don't know if you guys are tapped in like this with the biohacking, but yellow tinted blue light blockers daytime inside, at night red tinted blue light blockers at nighttime. I'm putting you guys all on game for my homeboys out there. I know we're talking about cartoons, but even still, we can drop some self-improvement, some value, and still think about how to become the best version of ourselves. And even such a random topic like talking about cartoons, there's always a room to talk about becoming the best version of yourself, man. Because, like, you know, you're gonna be here, the person who you're with your whole life is gonna be you, so why not take that time to become the best version of yourself? But like, circling back, man, it's like these kids nowadays, they're never gonna have that experience, never gonna wake up, never gonna grab the remote, never gonna start flicking through channels. And that just kind of gets me going. That kind of hits me hard in an emotional way. It's like a transition of the times, the 2020. It's like the 2020s, and it's showing like, oh, you know, the world's always going, time is always moving, the world is always evolving, it's always changing. It just got me nostalgic, man, because like back in the day, I was watching King of the Hill, Amazing World of Gumball, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn. Let me drop some ball for you boys out there. Family Guy a little bit, American Dad, The Clone Wars, Star Wars, Lab Rats for my boys out there. What do y'all know about Lab Rats? That's peak ball knowledge right there. Holy moly, bro. Oh my god. Oh, bro, there was that other one, Shake It Up. It was like this random show. It had like Bella Thorne in it and Zendaya in it, and like, dude, iCarly. We can't forget about iCarly. iCarly's to the boys. Bro, the core one from my childhood, bro, that just locked in, bro, is Teen Titans Go, man. Teen Titans Go was it for me. And I just feel like kids nowadays aren't gonna have that memory. They're just not. And that's kind of sad for me to think about. You know, like, I think maybe my kids, maybe I'll make them watch, I'll show them some cartoons, just kind of get them the vibe of, you know, like what I saw when I was a kid, and kind of expose them to some of the stuff I saw. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, cartoons are super good for you, and like, yeah, everyone should watch them, but, you know, just to be like, you know, when I was a kid, like, son, this is what I was watching when I was a kid. And I think a lot of the stuff from like the 2000s, 2010s, and maybe even before, I'm gonna shoot a little pre-fire here, but I'm gonna assume it's gonna be better than what's ever going on at the time in the next like 10 years, 10, 20 years. You know what I mean, right? So yeah, this was an odd one. It was a short one. Random thought here. No, the collab with the Muse 224, I'm really happy that went well. And it was so fun to do that. And I think pretty soon we're going to be doing something on his channel. So make sure to check him out. Amuse224 on YouTube. You know, he's doing pretty good. He's pretty killing it. He's killing it lately. I love it. Bringing back another content creator to the COD commentary space. And that's always fantastic. And if you're watching this video and maybe I've inspired you to start making COD commentaries, I'd love to know. Or if you now have the idea to do it just because I told you so, you know, that's awesome, man. Go for it. Do whatever, guys. I think streaming, you know, it's just like, I think just like cable, it just gets phased out. You know, it's just like so much more convenient just to have so many more options from like a logistics perspective. But nowadays you see some people going analog, going back to old tech, just because like nowadays, like technology, it's advanced too much. It's overwhelming. People want to dial it back. You see some people buying like wired earbuds, calculators, record players, vinyls, older phones, like stuff like that, right? Cameras, old game consoles like PSPs and PS3s and Xbox 360s. And I think that's a pretty exciting movement. And boys, I've been yapping a bit today, but I just wanted to talk about how nostalgic it was and kind of how sad it is that we're moving away from the cartoon era. You know, like when we were kids, man, that's what we did. And I think kids going forward, for majority of them, just won't have that same experience as us. And it's a product that's time changing, but you know, like let's embrace change. Let's keep going forward. And I want you to just put your best foot forward in everything that you do. And I wish you guys all the best. And this is a little yap session from Interops today. So this has been Interops, where the inner desire for success decides the outward operations to achieve it. Good luck, guys.